It's time to look at updating our forecast view. A quick glance at the key lines gives me a sense of déjà vu. We've certainly seen these metrics before. Furthermore, the entire Today view is nearly identical in layout to the top half of the Detail view, except that it doesn't have the space views that center our Detail view. The extra vertical space in the app bar is the same height as our list items. Because we're somewhat space constrained, we're using a minimal 8 dp of spacing for the area between the high and low temperatures in the daily forecast. And of course, we see that the Today view casts a shadow. The shadow helps create the illusion that the screen is made up of a physical material. But how do we cast this shadow? To make this easier for developers, Android L adds a new parameter into our layout language, elevation. Paraphrasing from our material guide, elevation is the aspect of the material design language that helps users understand the relative importance of each element and focus their attention to the task at hand. It combines the familiar in physical materials with magical properties that designers can leverage to create delightful moments. The elevation of a view, represented by the Z property, determines the visual appearance of its shadow. Views with higher Z values cast larger, softer shadows. Views with higher Z values also occlude views with lower Z values. However, the Z value of a view does not affect the view's size. Elevation is used for the static state of a view. Translation Z is used to create animations such as this one, where widgets temporarily rise above the new plane when performing some action. Note that this video represents Material's ideals rather than the reality of the Android implementation. Elevation animations are typically used to help signify action in response to user touch. Setting the elevation parameter on a view group will cause it to cast a shadow on other views. You have to be a bit careful, as it also changes the way views clip. Higher elevation views will occlude other views, even if they appear first in the layout. The app bar elevation dimension is 4 dp. We can add this to our dimensions or just include the Android design library, which defines this dimension. To make the changes to our portrait forecast view, we need to make changes in 3 places. First, we'll update the Toolbar section to create the app bar from the design in activity-main.xml. We'll make changes to the Today view in the list item forecast today layout, and we'll modify the rest of the forecast list items in the list item forecast layout. Before you start coding, you'll grab another code update, which includes correctly sized images, updated list selectors, and some useful dimensions. Because we have network loadable image sets, you want to constrain the width of our icon images in the forecast list to 40 dp using the list icon dimension we give to you. You can use the touch selector white to replace the Today touch selector. The large numbers are 32 dp, while the text view is 49 dp wide. I'm intentionally using dp instead of sp here because I don't want these numbers to change size when the system font is set to large size. I'm intentionally using dp instead of sp here because I don't want these numbers to change size when the system font is set to large size. We're pretty tight on space on narrow devices already. The app bar is pretty simple. We take advantage of the fact that the toolbar will center its children with respect to the entire layout if we use layout gravity equals center horizontal. Therefore, we include the image view inside of the toolbar with a height of list preferred item height and a margin top of action bar size, while having it wrap content for width to let the toolbar center it.